Aloha, y'all. It is Sunday, ruled by the sun, hence the name Sunday. The 8th of the 8th of November. Today, according to Dreamspell, it is a yellow electric seed guided by elegance. Today is a crown chakra day. So if you're going to be doing mudras, mantras, and all the like chakra work, chakra chanting, be doing the Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra. Look at that awesome picture. Infinite little ohms going, ohm symbols. That's kind of how reality is. Indra's net, you're a node on the fucking wheel, but it's all the one and the all and the one. Very much right here represented. So today, Sahasrara chakra. Do the mudras, which are your hand positions. Do the mantras, which is like the toning and the words and the thoughts. And be amazed at that which occurs. Today and Sunday is ruled by the sun. The sun is in Scorpio. The moon is in Leo. Mercury is in Libra. Venus is in Libra. And Mars is in retrograde in Aries. Let's go ahead and get some cards. Hopefully you all are doing all right. Fascinating times. What a lesson. We're always in class. We're always in school. But what are you learning? What's the lesson? Right now we got the Ten of Cups. Couldn't ask for a much better card. The cups represent emotionality, creativity, also, family, love, passion, sensuality, emotions, the watery of the cups, right? And the 10 is completion. So we're at this very specific point today where we might feel very emotionally satisfied. We could actually feel satisfied. I'm kind of riffing on a Hamilton thing, but we could feel satisfied if we so choose to. Ten of Cups is like, and I know the lighting is kind of weird, so sorry. Ten of Cups is joy overflowing. Your cups are overflowing. Look at all this stuff you have at your disposal. Crafting a legacy, ultimate contentedness, creating long-lasting bonds with those you call family. Ten of Cups, I experience the joy of loving connection. There is something exquisite and miraculous about journeying with fellow travelers on this road called life, because although we're in our own vehicles, we have other people, Indra's net, just like that ohm symbols. Like we are our own symbol. We are on we're on our own trip, but at the same time, we're on a journey of life with others. So both and simultaneity. I know it's a paradox. Deal with it. It is what it is. So there is something exquisite and miraculous about journeying with fellow travelers on this road called life. We are not alone. And we could tell ourselves, I'm on my own. I'm doing my own thing. It's like, that's not true. That's only partially true. We are not alone. Loneliness is a great deprivation, and it's becoming more prevalent in the face of divorce, increasing mobility, and an aging population. The people in our lives offer up reflections of ourselves. Like some great fractal, different facets of ourselves are revealed. That's why the whole namaste thing, right? It's like, you are another me. Like, I'm over here, and I'm this dot, and you're over here, and you're that dot, but we're in relationship necessarily. There's no getting out of that, right? So the people in our lives offer up reflections of ourselves, even people in other voting brackets, even people that you consider your enemies. That's why loving your enemy as yourself is more than just a good idea. It's the true. The people in our lives offer up reflections of ourselves like some great fractal. Different facets of ourselves are revealed. Contrasting edges of our character flame into existence with another personality, another energy, life-giving and sustaining. When we are alone, our needs remain unseen and unheard, our stories unshared. We lose ourselves in the vastness of thought and the emptiness of our four walls. Only now is loneliness coming out to be seen to be the great premature killer that it is, and so it is that we can be incredibly thankful for all the people that show up in our lives, service providers, neighbors, colleagues, community members and friends, and if you have been so blessed, families we have, as well as enemies, as well as people we disagree with, as well as, Harry Potter is ultimately better for knowing Draco Malfoy, even though it's a little inconvenient at times, right? Like, we're all fractal facets. This was one of the most poignant contrasts we found in Bali, with little room for loneliness. I love how the sun's coming back out. Little room for loneliness when our old and young live together in extended family compounds. Besides the all year round warm weather and the nature of their spiritual traditions encouraging meeting outdoors. We see a family in the card, which is actually David DeAngelis, the maker and his wife of this deck, who's been on the podcast multiple times and probably will come back on. We see a family in the card, and that's his daughter, within a bejeweled circle of cups which seems to burst with rainbow light, the full spectrum of color available to them. Every frequency is available. Everything is acceptable. Red is good. It's not bad compared to green. Green is not red. There's differentiation and individuality and spectrum of self and frequency and everything, but it's all part of the rainbow of creation. It's truly a miraculous and exquisite trip we're on, as the cards noted earlier. Cups, as we know, represent the element of water. With the sun in Scorpio, it's very watery right now. Visible light is the only part of the electromagnetic spectrum that can refract in water. This led to the evolution of the first appearance of eyes millions of years ago in the vast oceans of Earth. A mother, father, and their daughter who look set to make their mark on the world, or she looks set to make her mark on the world, the daughter, are being showered by a golden light from the cups above. The family cat completes the scene, communicating embodied sensuality and independence, a soul just happy to chill in the sun. And that reminds me of in Kiki's Delivery Service, a great Miyazaki film. I think my favorite cat, other than the one from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, is Gigi, the cat from Kiki's Delivery Service. The Ten of Cups invites you to take the time to connect with special people in your life. There's people that are more special than others. We're all connected, but the degrees of separation is a thing. So it's like some people you're very intimate with, some people you barely know. So take the time to connect with the people that are special in your life, those you love and have traveled with for some time in this journey called life. Acknowledge their presence in your life with fresh eyes. Experience their beauty, their courage and fortitude, their wisdom, because we're all teaching each other things. Like, no one is an island, although we can convince ourselves of that. We're all here giving each other lessons and showing each other essentially more and more about how to be through each other as reflections. So wisdom is available also. Feeling into and through the stories to fathom their radiance. In this card, today is a crown chakra day. Look at the radiance of all the Om symbols. Everyone is a person on Indra's net, and everyone is amazing and divine, you could even say, and they're all interconnected, interrelating, and they're all reflecting, and they're all important. No one is more important than the other, that kind of thing. Feeling into and through their stories to fathom their radiance. Everyone around us is a gift. Draco Malfoy is a gift to Harry Potter. It takes wisdom to see that. If he's just like, this kid sucks, it's like, no, he's a reflection of certain things about you that you're not experiencing directly, so this is why it manifests as a reflection. Everyone around us is a gift, is a reflection. Everyone around us is a teacher, showing us where we get caught in the web of judgment and self-righteousness, of separation and ignorance. Those are the issues at hand in this dream. If we could only give ourselves more moments to experience firsthand the joy of loving connection with ourselves, and so loving yourself, and then in turn to the other, to give love and appreciate the miracle of their existence. So be thankful for people you don't agree with. Be thankful for somebody that makes you laugh. Be thankful for the people that hurt you. Be thankful for the people that make you feel amazing. They're all reflections of what you need to experience at that moment. Nothing is out of it's all in harmony. It's all in tune, as they say. It's like, reminds me a little of Dark Side of the Moon, the eclipse. It's like, and the sun is in tune with the moon, and we're all here, and oh my gosh, and all that you see, and all that you touch, and all that you taste, and all that you feel, and all that you hate, and all that you love, and all, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, everything is awesome, right? That's the point. That's kind of what it's getting at. I've never experienced so much light changing on my iPod, so this is tricky. So, the family that birthed and grew you and family you can intend to create for yourself are realms of incredible possibility when you choose to let them guide you to become the best version of yourself. Always a choice, love or fear. To love and enjoy your family, you must first accept them, which was the gene key we read today, 25, which I have actually. The city is acceptance, or the gift is acceptance, I think. It's universal love. You got to accept them as they are and accept yourself as you are. You can't change anyone. You can influence them. You can show them what you're doing. And, Hermione can tell them how to, I'm reading Harry Potter with my fiance. Love you, Haley. And that's like a new kind of thing. So Hermione can show Ron and Harry the answers to the test, but they're going to have to take the pop quiz themselves. Like, we can only help each other a little, right? Like that, reflect. So, and invent ways to touch and be touched by their lives. Be creative, right? Cups, be creative, be loving. Let old ancestral patterns fall away. Pick up the arrows of judgment and transform them into flowers of love, gifting them to yourself, your family, and the world. It's easy to judge. Throwing rocks is easy. Can you do it constructively? Can you do it in such a way that you're treating it as though it's yourself? If we treated everybody like it's us in an exterior form, the world would be a lot nicer probably. But paradoxically, people hate themselves and don't love themselves. So they treat each other pretty shittily sometimes because of that. The Ten of Cups is about crafting a legacy, ultimate contentedness, creating long-lasting bonds with those you call family. And we're all a family of the human species. We're all a family in the galactic cosmos of beings, of, rocks are a family of your experience just as much as, angels, just as much as howler monkeys. We're all in this thing together. And it's a dream. This almost looks like an eyeball, right? Where it's like, look, we're the one thing witnessing itself through all forms. What a beautiful trip. We're a family. We are family. And we could celebrate that, clank our cups together and say, it is perfect and divine always. Just because your candidate wins or loses doesn't make the dream good or bad, right? It's always a beautiful dream. And then it's how you're reflecting in that dream that you're experiencing it as. So there's a little bit of that for you. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers. When I say candidate, I know I'm Amerocentric. All my European and South American, Australian friends aren't dealing with American elections the same way, but that's on my mind. Ultimately, it's all good. We have to accept everything as it is. We've got the Queen of Earth. So, let's go ahead and read what that's about. Queen of Earth, 182. All right, the Queen of Earth. Earth Mother, pragmatic, real, kind, nurturing, abundant, fertile mind, and wise. Key phrases: touch, connect, and create with your hands. Be supportive and nurturing. Seek out a motherly role model. A need for wise and honest counsel. Kindness is required. Without love, without kindness, it just becomes a shit show of self-righteous, begrudging bullshit. It's not fun. Kindness is necessary. It's required. You are loved and supported, just like this little girl in the cups, and just like everybody in the Indra's net, right? You are loved and supported in the dream. There's nothing outside of you that there's nothing in you that's just so bad that it can't be talked about, right? You are loved and supported. Mother, do not smother. So, show people, but don't do it for them. Share the responsibilities because we're all in this together. It's a community of beings going through development. Meaning, the Queen of Earth symbolizes a real, authentic Earth Mother personality. She is larger than life and possesses an abundant, generous, and grounded nature. She is realistic, but also sees magic everywhere. She is an Earth Mother who spends a great deal of time covered in soil and is not unknown for her to walk around oblivious to the leaves and twigs in her hair. She adores creating a warm and inviting home where all are welcomed. Cooking, cleaning, gardening, these are the things she loves, and she enjoys them all the more because of her tactile and sensual nature. She is a woman who loves nothing more than using her hands to touch, connect, and create. The Queen of Earth is the epitome of kindness. She will offer support and nurture your every endeavor while also offering wise and honest counsel. She comes to ask if this is how you see yourself. Or have you been so focused on business undertakings and career that you've created an imbalance in your life and disconnected from your true nature? Is it time for you to enjoy the benefits of being a homebody for a while? Maybe a home-cooked meal or a weekend out in the garden is on the agenda instead of meetings and reports. The Queen of Earth may also appear in your reading at times when you find yourself in need of a gentle reminder to be both nurturing and supportive of those around you. Ten of Cups is fuck, nurturing and supportive of those around you. Those you call family. Everyone's your family, whether you want to admit that or not. While you encourage and support others in their desire to be better themselves, right? This is important. While you encourage and support others in their desire to better themselves, helping people be their best selves, remember to do it without trying to change them. You can't force the lesson. Hermione can be like, here's the answers to the test. I'm smart and I know what's going on, but Harry has to learn the lesson for himself or else he's just copying her page and not learning the shit for himself. So a little motherly advice may unlock an answer and provide a solution. So we got to be motherly advice, right? This is familial and very caring and nurturing, motherly in a sense. Ten of Cups. It's like you're completely supported. You could show people how to do things without like bossing them around, right? You could be supportive and growing, nurturing, Queen of Earth, without like doing it for them, right? But knowing that what you do for yourself is being reflected in the hologram, and what you do to them is being reflected back to you. It's this intricate web, right? So let's go ahead and get Galactic Heritage card. I think I'm going to play a song today. I'm just not sure what. So let me tink on that while all these cards are popping out. And some songs just don't translate to acoustic. So it's like We Are Family would be a great song for today. But I don't know if like that without a bass line and all the harmonies and stuff doesn't sound quite the same, quite frankly. All right, so we've got new consciousness. 54, new consciousness. We are birthing a new consciousness, and we're stewards of it. That's the Queen of Earth. It's like we have to nurture wisely this new consciousness that's being birthed. And the consciousness is a unity consciousness. It's always been the case, and we've become individuals. It's one shape with individuals kind of punctuating at various points, and now the whole thing is rising together. That's where we're at. New consciousness. It's a beautiful time to be alive. You asked to be here. Don't fear not, as Jesus would say. You know, hold on loosely, as Buddha would say, but don't freak out like you asked to be here. I swear, if I have to keep on touching this auto thing on my phone, iPad, I'll freak out. So new consciousness. Present timeline number 54. There is a new consciousness being born on Earth right now. It has to do with the nature of existence beyond belief, thought, or emotion. This new consciousness is sprouting from our beings like a flower reaching towards the sun. But we often obstruct it by clinging to our distractions. And these distractions include opinions, drama. Some people thrive off of drama, or blame, and just being like, "You're the bad guy. I'm doing great, but fuck you. You're fucking me up." So opinions, dramas, and blame. Right? That's kind of the distractions. We must become the flower reaching towards the sun and value it, as in life and love and light, above all else. If we were to transform as a species, take a few minutes every day to visualize yourself as the flower reaching toward the sun. Today on a Sunday, the sun is very much emphasized. Let the sun, Sunday, nourish you and give you everything that you need. Right? And the sun is a symbol of consciousness at a level. Like, you could drink deep from the warmth of the sun and the light and the vitamins and the life it provides, right? It's nurturing you. It's making you grow. She's covered in, animal life and plant life, and that stuff only grows because of the sun. So it's a new consciousness. And at one point, the earth was sterile, and then, just a rock hovering in space. And then at some point, like, condensation started happening, so waters were available, and then atmospheres, and then life, plant life, and mineral life, and then animal life, and then here we are. It's like, it's always going forward. This is the song that never ends. Like, it's always going forward in new and different ways. So don't pretend you know what's going on, because nobody knows. We're in an improvised dream of the one mind, in a sense. And this mind is by, through, and for love, for the nature of grace, to experience new levels of consciousness. The things you're experiencing right now have never been thought before. Like, you have thoughts that are new for you, and therefore new for the hologram. You have experiences, you have relationships, you have hopes and fears. It's all relatively new in that sense. So we've got power, the deer, personal power, collective power, the power of the mind, the power of the heart. This is number 11. Deer, power. You are enough. That's kind of what I'm trying to even get at. It's like 10 of Cups is like, feel beautiful. Celebrate who you are. Celebrate every point on this Indra's net of ohms on this crown chakra day, the Sahasrara day. Like, know that you're part of a beautiful tapestry, and every character in the dream is necessary for the story. Hermione is just as necessary as Dumbledore, is just as necessary as Snape, is just as necessary as McGonagall, is just as necessary as... See what I'm saying? There's no story without all the characters, with all the variations. And that's the power of individualism within collectivism. It's a paradox, I know, but... So it's like you have power, but it's within a tapestry of being, and the power of all is reflected in your individuality. So power. You are enough. You are worthy. 10 of Cups. Drink deep. That's a new consciousness. Maybe we've been coming from a place where we're like, I'm not enough. I'm not beautiful. I've got to do more. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Take a minute to just relax and be and nurture yourself in the fullness of knowing that you're perfect the way you are, and you're in process, which is perfect. It's a process of becoming, right? It's now a chemical process. So, the Negredo phase is just as much needed as the other phases. Distillation, or I'm not even remembering, coagulation, all these kinds of phases of alchemy. They're all appropriate. So you are enough. You are worthy. Ethics are a part of building genuine personal power. So, like, be good, do good. Stand strong in front of your bullies and hold your boundaries tenaciously. Scorpio, Sun, especially the degrees it's in right now, is all about boundaries. It's like, this is the line, don't cross it. That's why Scorpios are so, controlling at times, because they're like, if you cross this boundary, I'll attack. Or if you cross this boundary, I'll retreat or whatever. It's like, it's about boundaries, power. Ironically, Scorpio is very much about power. I don't even know why I'm not saying that. Power, very Scorpio sun. And Leo moon right now, where it's like the power of the heart, right? The power of the sun. The power of consciousness. Stand strong in front of bullies and hold your boundaries tenaciously. Be proud of what you have achieved, but humble in your outlook. Both and. Be proud of your individuality, but know that you're part of a dream. So it's like Snape should love being Snape, but he shouldn't say everyone should be Snape. This is not how it works, right? So value everybody's trip, but value your trip also. Mythos. Actaeon, the son of Aristeus and Adono, and student of Chiron, who's a centaur, was hunting with his friends and with his famous pack of hounds through the forest near Mount Olympus. He prided himself on his hunting prowess and almost never returned home without game. He had boasted to friends over cups of wine, maybe 10 cups of wine. He had boasted to people, right? People he calls family, 10 of cups. He had boasted over cups of wine that he was the goddess Artemis's equal in his mastery and loved nothing more than to exercise what he was good at. So he was really caught up on the whole, like, I'm awesome, hear me roar, Leo moon stuff. But like, was he like aware of his embedded nature within the Tao of everybody's awesome, doing all their awesome nature for their trip? Like, it's all good. Not so much. One day he became separated from his friends deep in the forest. He entered a thick grove of trees, and as he passed through, he saw a reed-ringed pond of water. As his view cleared, he realized that there was a woman bathing in the pond, and it was Artemis, the goddess herself. So beautiful was she. Venus right now is in Libra. Mercury's in Libra. It's like, oh my gosh, I see beauty. I'm witnessing and communicating with beauty itself. So beautiful was she. It occurred to Actaeon that in all propriety, he should quickly turn away. It's like, but he did this instead, right? But such was her beauty that he wanted to stay and see her even just for a few seconds more. The goddess turned and she saw Actaeon and was outraged at his transgression of her mysteries. Scorpio sun. It's like, you crossed the line. This was a holy thing, and you've tainted it. My boobs, you saw them, or whatever she's thinking. She would have no man see her and tell of it. So, power of the Scorpio secret sun. She told Actaeon that if he tried to speak to anyone ever about her, he would be transformed into a male deer, which is called a stag. Actaeon ran away in fear from Artemis. He was very frightened, but knew the rest of his hunting party must be near. He heard them calling for him, and without thinking, answered them back. Instantly, he was transformed into a great stag. His well-trained dog smelt the stag and began to chase it. This is some Mars retrograde shit. It's like, I was the hunter, now I'm being hunted. Oh shit. These isn't the actions I was expecting. However, the dogs cornered him against some large stones. He tried calling their names, but all that came out was a stag's bellow, because he's transformed, he's metamorphosed, or whatever, magically, Scorpio sun. And he was ripped apart by his own hunting dogs. How grotesque, death-oriented, and taboo. Scorpio sun. The hunter had become the hunted. Mars retrograde. Artemis is often depicted with deer by her side. For the huntress who abhors cruelty and is protected by the forest, the deer are a symbol of both aspects. Deer or the stag have been symbols of power in many cultures, and symbols in royal heraldry in Europe and the Norselands. The animal of deer. And it's ironic. I get like how to say this in Japan words every day, Japanese, and today was deer. So there's a sync there. The animal. Deer are magnificent creatures that have long been part of the life of humans. The hunting of deer is one of the most ancient and continual of all animal hunting, which is confirmed by Paleolithic drawings. Deer offer meat, leather, skins, and antlers. It's like a walking convenience store for our ancestors. Our ancestors used the whole animal, and those traditional cultures that still hunt deer as part of a traditional way of life tend to do the same. Deer occur in a wide variety of habitats, mainly forest and tundra, with some species able to survive at altitude. There's deer up here at 8,000, 9,000 feet. Every continent, bar Antarctica and Australia, has endemic deer. They are able to jump and swim very well and are fast runners and fast movers. Swift to react to threat. Deer are herd animals, and herds usually have a dominant male and many females and young. But they're a herd. They're a 10 of cups. They're a collective. They might have a dominant queen of earth. They might have a leader, but they're still individuals within a group. They're not individualists, rugged individualists. Most species of deer grow antlers that are shed once a year and are used by males as weapons in contests for breeding rights. Large symmetrical antlers can signal to good genetic quality and are part of the sexual attractiveness of males to females. The antlers are also used as a defense against predators such as wolves. The weight and power of a stag combined with, bear with me, the sharp set of antlers could be more than a match for predators. Deer magic is all about personal power. When you feel powerless or small, imagine a stag with a crown of antlers standing by you, lending you its presence and strength, like a Patronus to Harry Potter. He was lent strength from the beyond magic, right? Scorpio Sun. It gave him heart, Leo Moon. Deer energy is also great for healing a weak body if you're going through illness, and for going on astral journeys such as the Norse did in Seder magic. Symbology's antlers, woman with a deer and a bow and arrow, hoof prints. It's a typo. Status: there are 23 species of deer that are now listed as endangered. So, they are transitioning in their ecological reality, but whatever. So the Ten of Cups today is kind of showing drink deep. Know that you have a power that you can tap into. A power of what? Love, community, acceptance, right? Openness, right? No man is an island, right? The new consciousness is going back to the unity. We were one thing, and then we splintered into all these little things, and now we're remembering we're all part of the one thing. That's kind of what the whole trip is. So drink deep and have fun. Knowing that you are here to nurture yourself and others health in a healthy way, Queen of Earth, towards a new consciousness, not a one of division and us versus them and you're right and I'm wrong, or vice versa. Usually is how people think about it, because egos are one hell of a drug. I'm right, you're wrong, right? Like, that's not the new consciousness. It's like everything is necessary. Snape has viewpoints that are very different than McGonagall's, but they're both necessary for the story. They both have real value and power, and we're better for knowing these positions of Indra's net. It's kind of the whole point. The consciousness wants to explore itself fully. That means everything is possible, whether it's like the most abysmal and the worst war crimes possible to like the best virtuous moments possible, and everything in between. So the artist we have today is Albrecht Dürer. Actually, he was born on my birthday, and we were both Gemini Sun Moons and Leo Risings. So let's go ahead and get some advice from Albrecht Dürer. The painter and engraver Albrecht Dürer, who awoke German Renaissance art, was foremost a printmaker whose woodcut illustrations of feel-good religious subjects such as the apocalypse accumulated mainstream following previously unknown in the print business. He was very successful. Ten of Cups. He was kicking ass and taking names. Creatively. He was like a rock star creatively. Dürer ran with cool intellectuals and royals in his hometown of Nuremberg. Cool intellectuals, very Scorpio Sun, psychological individualists. And during a plague outbreak, like the bubonic plague, and we're in an outbreak purportedly right now, he allegedly pieced out to Venice, Italy, which he had considered his spiritual homeland. An Italophile, Dürer was so inspired and motivated by his southern colleagues that, in later works, he forced emotion and geometric perspective down the throats of his cold Deutsch countrymen. He forced perspective. He forced emotionality in the artwork, right? Everyone was like, "Oh, we just draw it as it is," and he's like, "No, draw things as in a different way." He was a revolutionary artistically. Check out Albrecht Dürer if you haven't. His prints, considering when he was doing things, it's like, this is as good as today. This is crazy. So Albrecht Dürer is saying, know your perspective. That's his advice for us today. Know your perspective. You're held and supported. What can you do when you feel held and supported and loved unconditionally? What can you do when you love others unconditionally? And that's the hardest thing of all. Usually we're like, I like you as long as you do what I want you to do. I like you as long as you agree with me. I like you as long as you benefit me. That's not unconditional, right? We're all one family, and we need to nurture each other and ourselves well. The one family, the one consciousness, hippies say it all the time on acid. People who have had religious experiences understand it, right? That's the new consciousness. We've never really had it as humans, quite frankly. The Garden of Eden is this illusion where it's like everything was all good and nobody really fought with each other. And then we fell into consciousness in this particular way, knowing good and evil, according to that story paradigm, right? The new consciousness is a new heaven and earth, a new Jerusalem, a new way of thinking, a new way of including others, right? That's just kind of where we're at. That's powerful. That's transmutational. That's real power, is love. Love is the most powerful force. And the absence of love is a powerful force, but it's still love that we're talking about. So know your perspective. Know who you are. Hit me up for a reading if you want. I love giving readings, and astrological charts or cards, whatever. Help yourself know thyself. That's the maxim, right? So know where you are on this little sacred geometry thing, which actually is the same thing as my Metatron's cube. So Metatron's cube back there. So know where you are, and everybody's position is different, and that's okay. Nurture that position well and love others equally as much as you can. We don't do it perfectly, we're human, but that new consciousness, that loving others, loving your enemy, in Lakesh Alakin, Namaste, that all that shit is the new consciousness, that unity consciousness. That's where we're going. It's powerful. It's taken a long time to evolve to a place where we can even fathom these truths. For a long time, it's just like, I want to fuck this, and I want to eat that, and I'm going to do meat, and it's like, it's all good, but it's like we're moving away from that. We have to know our perspective. We're not animals anymore. We're still enclosed within animalistic bodies with animalistic urges, right, and all these things. But that's our shadow. We're going away from that into a gifts and the cities and into the glory of consciousness incarnate. It was always the case, right? But now we can celebrate it with ourselves and others in a high and lofty way, a creative way, a loving way, inclusive way, a nurturing way, a powerful way. Power, right? What is this new way? The new consciousness. Unity consciousness. It is what it is. It's always been, and it will always be, but our perspective had shifted. Like, this was always the case, but then we've shifted in and out of it so much that we've dilated our perspective, right? So just breathe and be and enjoy the ride. Know your perspective, though. Snape is not McGonagall, is not Dumbledore, is not Harry. They all have individual nodal realities, and they all interweave and communicate and stuff, and it's all good. We're all in a story, and we've all chosen our roles, and now we're playing them out. So honor yourself and honor others. You don't have to make others you, and they sure as fuck shouldn't make you them. But we're all trying to just like be. I mean, that's just what it is. And we are regardless. And then how much you resist that fact is how much stress, strife, fighting, ego tripping, all the shit, war. The resistance is the problem, right? Labradorite is the stone of today. What it is, labradorite is a feldspar mineral first discovered in Canada's frozen north. The stone seems to hold the light of the aurora borealis just beneath its surface, kind of like us. We're in flesh, but we have the light of God in us, or something like that, right? Just beneath the surface. This slightly psychedelic, iridescent dance is known quite appropriately as labradorescence. Who needs it? Adventurers exploring far-off lands, places alchemical, spiritual, artistic, dreamy. Any Pisces. Where to put it? Wherever you cast your spells. This is very Scorpio sun, right? Going on adventures, Moon and Leo. Spiritedness. When to use it? When you've lost your faith in magic. If you're just like, oh man, this isn't working. Like, I don't know, I'm giving up, right? When you've lost your faith in magic, when the world is a weird, wonderful, whimsical, watery, the world is telling us, the world is a weird, wonderful, whimsical, watery rock hurtling through space. Facts. And you're on it. Fact. And that makes you special. Fact. And you're special as a node in Indra's net. Don't get too caught up in it because there's others equally special as you, but you are unique and special. It's beautiful. That makes you special. Gaze into labradorite and delight in that. This is protect your magic, right? So we need to protect our magic through love. We need to protect our magic through celebration, through joy. We need to protect our magic through nurturance and groundedness. The magic is the new consciousness. Protect it. That power is available. Tap into it. Know your perspective. Albert Durr. You can tap into. You're always magical. You're always a choice away from being the most Gandalf version of yourself versus being the most Gollum version of yourself. It's a choice. It's always a choice. And Labradorite is saying to protect your magic. So, don't give your power away. Don't give yourself away. It's a paradox in that, be bendable, but have form, right? If you're too rigid, you'll snap whenever you're challenged. Right? Like if something's really, stiff and you try to move it, it might be like, it's like, oh shit, it broke. It's not flexible. But if it's so flexible that it doesn't hold form, it's not individual in that sense. You don't want to be so, adaptive that you don't have a self. You don't want to be, this is one of my problems. You don't want to be everything everybody needs for themselves and not know who you are. That's an issue, right? So I'm going to play some music. I'm not going to play my electric guitar today. I think I'm going to play a song. So let me kind of gather my thoughts on what that might be as I'm also opening my computer. Hopefully you're all doing well out there. Let me know where you're watching from because it's always fascinating for me to know. So what should we play? I got a good one. This is Candle on the Water from Pete's Dragon. Candle, heart, chakra, sun, right? Sunday, the light, the heart of Leo moon on the water, Scorpio sun. Let me just type this in. This is actually by the woman who's Canadian. She was famous for "I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar." She kind of sang that song. Um, she did this. She's a really good singer. And if you've ever seen the movie Pete's Dragon, that is what this is. I grew up on this shit. I'm a Disney kid for life. And hopefully you guys can... Hopefully the audio is working. I don't know. I'm just presuming. So, yeah, but like this is someone being supportive, right? This is someone being supportive in a context like light on the water. Like this, like look how bright this is, vibrant and full of life. Leo moon on the water of emotions. Scorpio sun, right? It's the new consciousness. This song is beautiful for like a love, like, oh, I love you and I'll do all the things for you. We should be doing that to ourselves. We should be doing that to our enemies, to the people we love. It's easy to love people you love. It's not easy to love people you hate. That's what we're being challenged and, called to do. That's the new consciousness. So here we go. I'll be your candle on the water. My love for you will always burn. I know you're lost and drifting, but the clouds are lifting. Don't give up, you have somewhere to turn. I'll be your candle on the water, till every wave is warm and bright. My soul is there, oh, my soul is there, beside you. Let this candle guide you. Soon you'll see a golden stream of light. A cold and friendless tide has found you. Don't let the stormy darkness pull you down. I'll paint a ray of hope around you, circling in the air, lighted by a prayer. I'll be your candle on the water. This flame inside of me will grow. Keep on holding on, you'll make it. Here's my hand, so take it. Look for me, reaching out to show. As sure as rivers flow, I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. Or something. So there's a lot of resonance with that song. So first of all, it's like, I'll be the candle on the water. The sun is in Scorpio, the waters of uncertainty, the waters of fear. The candle of the on the water is the heart of love, the sun, the power, the Sunday, right? The power card. What's the thing that powers through it? Love. So I'll never let you go. We're family. The story of, like, Snape can't let go of McGonagall, can't let go of Voldemort, can't let go of Harry. They're imbued in a story being told from a creative place. That's what life is. We're all characters in this story telling itself out. That's what we're finding ourselves in. And the more we become aware of that new consciousness that's always been there, but we're becoming aware of it, flipping our minds, the more we'll actually love ourselves and others more appropriately. The kingdom of God will be come back, right? If you want to put it that way, right? We're the ones we've been waiting for to turn on this perspective. You'll never let go of those you love, and if you start treating people that you really love, like your immediate family, your wife, your kids, your pets, that's easy enough. Start doing it to people you don't know and trying to extend the kindness. That's a little more difficult. Start doing it to people you think are the devil themselves and idiots and closed-minded and fucking burdens on the species. That's the real challenge, right? And doing that as a steward of consciousness, doing that as a nurturer of life, doing that as a form of beautification. It's how we enter into the new paradigm, the new consciousness. That's power, right? That's where we're going to go with it. That the power of love can get us from the oceans of uncertainty to the lighthouse of I will be here, I'll be your candle in the water. We have to hold that power for ourselves. Know your perspective. Know that you're both the lighthouse showing others the way, being a way shower, and you're also helpless out in the ocean and needing light shown to you. And there's multiple levels. You show yourself the light. You are shown light through others. You lose yourself in your own ocean of emotions and confusion. You see other people emotionally distraught and drowning, right? Know your perspective. Know where you're at and be honest with yourself. Protect your magic, though. Don't lose hope. The magic is hope. The magic is love. The magic is life. And that's the bottom line. Hopefully that makes sense. Maybe having a podcast today. No one is scheduled. We're kind of trying to decide that. I would love if Haley would come on, my fiance. I don't think she's going to. And I love you, Haley. Forever. I'll never let you go. So yeah, just try to be the change. Know that we're exactly where we need to be. Celebrate that fact. This isn't about everything being according to your preferences, right? This is about knowing that all ecologies of reality are happening for the consciousness to spread, for love and awareness and light to grow. The more light there is, the darker the shadows look. It is what it is, right? The more powerful Harry Potter becomes, the more powerful and dark the forces he comes to. In the first few books, he's like, oh, I'm a Quidditch player. And by the end, it's like, I've got to save a whole fucking school of people in a whole world. Very different story, right? We're in a story of power, a story of transmutation, Scorpio's sun, and a story of power, of soul, right? The magic. Moon and Leo. Know your perspective. Know who you are. Hit me up for readings if you want to know thyself that much more. On that note, have a good one.